Hello, everyone. This is Willie Phillips again with Through Our Eyes, sponsored by the African American Heritage Club. I'm the VP of the club. As most of the viewers know, Annie McCray is McCary. I get it wrong every time. Annie McCary is our president and the newly elected mayor. She's here with us today. You know, she's always hosting as well. But today, for us, is a very, very special day because we have an honored guest here by the name of Dr. Bill Relaford. I knew him when he was a teenager. I worked for his father. As a matter of fact, his father is the one that mentored me and led to me having some semblance of success in my business adventures. But Dr. Relaford is a pediatrician.
Podiatric surgeon.
Podiatric surgery. And I'm going to just let him talk. I'm going to introduce him, and we're having a tour that we're going to be taking on April the 29th to Bloom Ranch, which happens to be the largest black-owned ranch in California, I believe, and certainly in the Los Angeles area. He's the owner of that. He's also the owner of a winery in Ojai. He has a practice in Los Angeles, and he has a wealth of information and a wealth of history, and he has a great story to tell. So we're going to turn it over to Dr. Bill Relaford right now, and just tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got where you are, and what you're doing today.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to come share a few words about what we do at Bloom Ranch. And first of all, I'm very proud of you and your success. My dad would be immensely proud of what you've been able to do in your business. And thank you for having me, Mayor, to be a part of this amazing TV show. First of all, Bloom Ranch is the largest black-owned farm in LA County, over 250 acres. It was established in 1891. It's 135 years old. At the time when I purchased the property, I didn't know it was going to be the largest black-owned farm in LA County. That was not the initial vision. It was one of those kind of things where I wouldn't say I had buyer's remorse, like, what have I just done? I looked at all of this land. And then, from a spiritual perspective, you sit there in the quiet in the evening and you start asking for direction. And with me being a podiatric surgeon, I specialize in preventing amputations in the most vulnerable populations, both domestically and internationally. I do a lot of work in West Africa, a lot of work in the South Pacific Islands, in Tahiti and Fiji. And you see some of the common things for those people at risk of amputation that have diabetes. So I decided to dedicate my life. And I never use the word purpose, because purpose is too flimsy. I call it, this is my assignment. I think when a man or woman has an assignment, you have deliverables. Just like what you teach, you got what's your homework assignment. You got to turn in something.
Yes.
From a spiritual perspective, I believe that every man or woman should have an assignment. Why are you here? And so for me, helping people transform themselves nutritionally and health-wise is something I'm very passionate about. So Bloom Ranch is an extension of my practice, where I'm actually able to grow the medicine versus writing prescriptions. I grow the medicine now, straight up from the ground. Wow. And so we have a program called Food is Medicine. So where we actually grow prescriptive boxes tailored for various medical conditions. And in my latest book called The Real Pharmacy, Pharmacy, 5 Colors a Day to Better Health, we have recipes for every medical condition with diet, from diabetes, memory, skin care, kidney care, liver care in the book. And I should have bought a copy of the book. I'll make sure you get a copy of the book.
Okay, thank you.
So that is, in summary, what Bloom Ranch is about. We do a lot of things there in the community We do have a program called Blues and Bingo for our seniors. We have a program that we're starting in a couple of months called Grow Where You Are, where we can help people grow. You don't have to have 250 acres. 5 Colors a Day was inspired by all my patients that were 80, 90, and 100 years old. I started seeing a common trend with the patients that were the most healthiest. I would look at toward confidentiality. I said, Miss Jenkins, I said, your skin is so clear and your eyes are clear. And over time, I was able to tell who was eating fruits and vegetables and who was growing their fruits and vegetables as well. So a collard green tree in the backyard or patio, you can pinch off. Where are you from?
Alabama.
And so you know about it.
Yes,
right?
I do.
And you know about it too, right?
As a matter of fact, I have a collard green tree, and she's always robbing from my tree.
So we know about the power of a collard green tree. See, just a collard green tree can be very productive. You don't have to have your entire meal that you grow, but some aspects of your meal should have some things that you've grown.
Right, go on. You're doing wonderful.
Okay.
I'm just,
I got stipend on collard greens because, like he said, I've been waiting for my next batch of collard greens because they are one of the best whole foods that, for me, that I can
Lots of
partake.
vitamin C, lots of fiber. And you know, the thing about the plant does something very, very powerful. We live in a society, unfortunately, that values profit over people. And food is one of the things that keeps people confused. They have what's called, I call it the confusion campaign. First coffee is bad for you, now it's good for you. First eggs is bad for you, now it's a superfood. You just don't know what is good and what's not. And so in my next book called Weapons of Mass Destruction, or how the fast food industry is harming vulnerable Americans, I kind of outline, the booby traps and landmines out there and how we are communicated to as a people, as a society that keeps us in this vicious cycle of taking pills for every ill for the most part. So at Bloom Ranch, we actually grow. I'm very proud of the quality. You got some of the vegetables, didn't you?
I did.
And what you think about them?
They were delicious and nutritious.
You could tell the difference in the flavor.
Yeah, the flavor, the taste, and make sure I get some eggs this time. I neglected to get the eggs. I like the fresh eggs, but yeah, they have great wholesome food there, and it's a great ambiance. We went up. I think you recently started a brunch there on Sundays. We were there for the jazz brunch. When you want to tell us about that?
So the Sunday jazz brunch was one of those ideas. In fact, where the brunch is held, it was an old dilapidated swimming pool. And I told the workers, just cover the swimming pool up and compact it down and make a deck. And we did a little gazebo type thing there, and we're sold out just about every Sunday for the next month and a half. I had no idea it was going to resonate that well with the local community. We have about 120 people there every Sunday, where we use most of the produce from the farm for the brunch. I told the chef to do something unique with the grits, so we have collard greens in our grits.
That's what was in those grits. I know they were different. I didn't know what that was.
Collard greens in grits, so.
And that's what people did. I grew up on the farm, and you didn't throw anything away.
Right.
When you cooked the collard greens, you saved that liquor. We called it liquor.
Pot liquor.
And you use that for the grits, and you use it for whatever.
That's what we do at Bloom Ranch. And so we've been able to do a little bit of the old and do a little bit of the new. And we've been able to grow some foods that are culturally connected to our people. I was actually able to find the cowpea. The cowpea is a pea that was developed in West Africa, and it was brought over by the slaves and the women in their hair. And so that pea is so nutritious that people who eat it, they say, wow, this is really something special. The flavor is absolutely incredible. So we'll have the cowpea there this fall. It's a fall crop.
Cowpea.
COW, cowpea. You can look it up.
Okay.
Cowpea. It's a pea brought over by the African slaves. We were able to source it. I think it was in Louisiana or Alabama. Some of the plantations still had that pea there, so we were able to bring it to Bloom Ranch. So we'll have more of that this fall. We did a sample crop.
Now, when you're saying pea, you mean like a pea, like a green pea?
It
Or?
looks like a black-eyed pea, like size
Okay.
of a black-eyed pea.
Because I know where Willie was going with this. That's why I wanted clarification.
Talking about a liquid refreshment or something.
Yeah.
Cowpea. Okay.
No. And someone else may say, no, it's not that kind of pea, like
Yeah,
that.
okay,
But it's like a
okay.
black-eyed pea, cow pea.
Okay.
Like that. But it's very nutritious. We actually grow a lot of edible flowers too. We grow calendula. Calendula is one of the most powerful antioxidant flowers. It's edible that you can consume. We have skincare products that we make from calendula. We actually grow African marigolds. African marigold has a lot of antioxidant properties to it as well. We grow some other marigolds. So we've been experimenting with a lot of things to make the visit to Bloom Ranch very transformative and very enriching in every aspect. We are going to start this fall a U-Pick program where you can bring your basket and pick your own collard greens and pick your own tomatoes, and you can watch. So Bloom Ranch our goal is to make it a place where you can be connected to what's coming into your body. Many times you go to the store, you don't know where it came from. You just hope and pray that whoever grew it put some love into it. But at Bloom Ranch, you'll be able to go and pick your own collard greens, pick your own peaches. You'll be able to do that this fall. And we're very proud of our peaches. They're some of the best peaches in the world. You didn't get any of our peaches because we didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
However, the peaches, and make sure that we can give some peaches to the community here. We have so many, we have 5,000 peach trees, and sometimes we can't get rid of all of them.
We'll help you do that.
We
won't
will
have
help
that
you
problem.
do that.
Okay,
We'll
so
help
make
you
sure you put that on the list, yes.
Dr. Rutherford, I have a question for you now. We're coming up on this tour of your ranch on the 29th. Could you tell the listening and watching audience, what are we going to be doing? I know that there's a tour, and I know that we're going to be playing bingo. We're going to have catered box lunches, and just tell us a little bit about what they're looking forward to.
So depending on the mobility of the people that come, we have a walking tour. So you can walk between the orchards, the peach trees, apple trees, pear trees. A lot of people find a lot of just solace and comfort just being in the middle of nature. I know you have a great community here, but to be in a community that's never been developed, we've never used chemicals on that farm before, a lot of people feel a sense of connection to nature. That's number one. Right now, the river's running. I'm not sure if it'll be running in April. It could be because we got a lot of rain. So Bloom Ranch is the beginning of the Santa Clara River. The Santa Clara River is the longest unobstructed river in the state of California that begins right at Bloom Ranch. So you can go there. The water is trickling. I was there yesterday. And it's very meditative and very comforting just to hear the trickling sound of water running against rocks. And you'd be surprised that in the city, we've become so used to that quiet noise that, you know, a car, a motor, a siren, a this and a that, that's become normal. But sometimes when that noise is gone, you say, wow, this is the sound of wind going through the leaves of a tree, or the sound of birds and chirping, things like that. Or you become
crickets.
The crickets, and you become a lot more aware and present in your environment. So we're hoping that the people who come there on the 29th will get a chance to appreciate a lot of that. You'll be able to do some tasting of the various vinaigrettes. We have about 25 different varieties of olive oils and vinaigrettes. So you get to sample some of those things that you may want to bring some things home with you as well.
Now you mentioned olive oil. Do you have olive trees or do you
We have
make
some
your?
olive trees, but the demand has been so great, we had to source some of our olives from other places.
Okay,
So we have lots of olive oil there.
Okay.
And lots of vinaigrettes. We bake our own breads. That you'll be able to get some of that. We're looking for somebody's grandmother with a good old biscuit recipe, if we can get somebody.
Make you some of them homemade,
Audience.
some of them biscuits,
Audience,
flour
we
biscuits.
may have someone's grandmother come and bring us a good recipe for some good biscuits.
I have some recipes. I don't know. Anyway,
Dr. Rutherford, tell us a little bit, if you would, about the winery in Ojai, and then a little bit about your journey. I know that your father was very successful in real estate and in the floor covering business, multi-million dollars in both of them. Why didn't you pursue that end? What made you want to become a doctor? Tell us a little bit about those two things, if you would.
We have the privilege of owning a property in Ojai, which is connected to Bloom Ranch. So 20 acres of the 250 acres, we actually grow grapes, wine grapes for a Malbec wine, red wine, that will be processed in Ojai. So Ojai and Bloom Ranch kind of cross-pollinate some of the things, because Ojai is in a different growing zone, different microclimate. For example, the oranges that are at Bloom Ranch are actually grown in Ojai, so we bring them over there. A lot of the avocados that we have, when we have them are from Ojai, we bring them in. So also the lemons as well.
okay.
And so we have the winery there. It's called Casa Loche, Casaloce, Casa Loche. You can go to casaloche.com, and you can maybe join our wine club as
So
well.
is that like a house wine or cask? I'm trying to figure out what that.
Casa means house of love.
Okay, so I had part. Okay,
A love that's so rich that words can't describe it.
Okay.
So that's
It's
what
like-
Casa Loche means.
Okay.
And so we have some very unique wines. We have a red wine, that's my favorite wine. We have a rosé. The grapes that are there at the winery now are rosé grapes. We have a Chardonnay that's going to be bottled in the next 2 weeks. So we're very excited about adding that variety to our collection as well. So, in your other question about, yes, my dad, as you know, they worked me like a Hebrew slave.
Both of us.
Right. And most people, they see me in a suit right now, but they have no idea how I worked at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
you didn't work till you were 14?
No, I was working, but I'm talking about
Hard
working
manual labor.
Manual labor.
Oh,
And
me
if
too.
they had the laws they had now, both my parents would be somewhere else for child
Yeah.
labor, for sure, right?
Yeah,
For
ours
sure.
as
I
well.
was driving illegally at 14 years old.
Wow.
Delivering products that we were installing. Yeah.
Installing and picking up, going to
Wow.
the Gemini carpet,
Shaw carpets and all of those.
all those places like that. So I think so. I credit my dad and all my uncles for my work ethic, and I think that I took that work ethic and put it into something that I'm passionate about, which is medicine and helping people. And I think that, with the foundation of a work ethic, you can do just about anything. You have a lot of people with a lot of degrees and certificates, but they're just on the wall collecting dust. But when you can latch that work ethic with some knowledge, what I was able to do, I was able to expand something. So for me, I think every young person needs to find their own way. My dad, he did his thing with the carpet and floor covering, and that was very beneficial to me and the family at that time. And so even I have 2 daughters, and I was hoping that one of my daughters would go into medicine. And I'll never forget the conversation I had with my oldest daughter, Akila. She was pre-med at the time. And as a parent, if you're listening, you know your babies. I said, do you really want to be a doctor because you want to be a doctor? Or do you want to be a doctor because they say you should be more like your daddy? She says, I don't want to be a doctor. I said, you know what? Daddy's going to love you unconditionally whatever you want to be. And I said, so what do you want to do? I want my own skincare company. And right now she has an amazing skincare company called Mary Lou's Cosmetics. And she has her own wine from the winery called Lucky Girl Wine. So she's been able to do her own thing. So I think as a parent, you should set the foundation and make sure you give them, your kids, the principles to succeed in whatever endeavor they want to embrace.
Okay. So you have anything?
Yeah,
ma'am?
I have a question because everything that you're talking about reminds me of my upbringing. And I grew up on a farm. And one of the things that we always had to do was we rotated the crops around. Like if you planted peanuts this year, then next time you had to plant something else or you give the soil a rest.
Well, that's George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
rotation of the Peanut Man. And I was talking to Willie about, this society has been the beneficiary of a lot of things that African Americans have brought to the table that they may not even appreciate. And so the fact that the crop rotation technique and so with the peanut is a nitrogen fixing plant to put nitrogen back into the soil to rotate it like that. And we do a lot of that at Bloom Ranch as well as in Ojai. Well, the cowpea was actually putting a lot of nitrogen into the soil, so we'll grow some squash and other things this year in that same area. So you actually reminded me of some of the techniques that we are benefiting from today.
Well, since you're talking about cow pea, I'm flashing back. Did you know anything about cow chip tea?
I do.
That when you got me on that one.
Cow chip tea. We would, my grandmother, we would catch colds, and she would say, "Son, go out in the pasture and bring me some patties, cow patties."
Oh, not those patties.
Yes.
Yeah, cow patties.
Not those
And
patties.
we would bring them in, and they would.
I've heard it.
them
I
out.
know
You've
what you're
heard-
talking about. My patients just tell me about it.
Yeah,
Go on.
it actually works. It works.
I heard for
my dad-
earaches and all kind of stuff. They was telling me about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was nothing, because we didn't have doctors. I mean, there were doctors, but whatever ails you, you went out and dug up a root or some cow chips or some huffs from the hog foot, whatever, shuck tea, and you made tea. And
The mayor is a retired nurse.
So you know about it then.
I
I remember my grandmother told me, since you mentioned pot liquor, and they said that in Oklahoma times were hard or something like that, and they made me a sugar tit with the napkin and cornbread in it.
Yep.
Is that it?
Absolutely.
Is that what they call it?
Yes, absolutely. So there was, because modern medicine wasn't available to us. So everything was right at your disposal. You made do with what you had.
Right.
When you would strain the milk, we had a milk rag, and you strain the milk and you keep the rag. And
That's what my grandmother said. They would tell me that story. And the last thing, my grandmother in Oklahoma, times were hard, but she could make the best peach cobblers. But this particular season were no peaches, and all the grandkids are there. We wanted peach cobbler. And so this is what you just illustrated is how, as a people, we would always find a way out of no way. So she went in the cupboard and got some fruit cocktail and made a fruit cocktail cobbler that was just as good or better than the peach cobbler. It's on top for me.
absolutely, it's that love that made
I remember once, my mother used to hot comb my sister's hair, and she was out of grease. So she went and got some bacon grease, and she hot combed my sister's hair with the bacon grease. And my sister didn't have good luck getting boys to follow after her. When we went to school that day, she came home. She said, "Man, all of the boys were flocking over me." And I said,
They did the bacon
I said,
grease.
"They were smelling that bacon. It didn't have nothing to do with you." Well, look, Dr. Rutherford, we just have a couple of minutes, so we want you to. I have a question for you, for the audience. If you could give us one piece of advice, what would it be? And then when Dr. Rutherford finishes, then you can close us out, Sister Mayor.
So I'd have to lean into, from a medical health perspective, if it was one advice, I would tell the audience to eat 5 colors a day. Don't count calories, count colors. Okay. okay? Because all my patients are 80, 90, 100 years old. They're 85 colors a day. Your plate should look like a rainbow or a flower. So embrace the 5-color method. I'm confident you'll be healthier.
Exactly.
And you can take us out.
So thank you so much. This was
Thank
very
you.
informative,
Thank
very
you.
enlightening,
Thank you.
and just sort of took Willie and I both back to, where we came from, because we grew up on farms. We grew up in the land. And so
Absolutely.
to take us back to some of that was absolutely delightful. We are anticipating joyfully.
And I can't wait till you all come out there. I read it's a working farm, so anybody who's got a strong back, we got plenty of work tools out there, and we got a lot of paper sack, or was it crocus sack?
Crocus sack, yeah, crocus sack.
Okay.
Plenty of those.
So this is Through Our Eyes, African American Heritage Club in Laguna Woods, signing off. Thank you, Dr. Rutherford, for
Thank you,
coming.
sir.
Thank you
for
so
having me.
Thank
much.
you, Mayor.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, Network. We'll see you again next month.